So Hispanic Heritage Month is like winding down. That's right, it like lasts until October 15th for some reason. But whatever, I like to call it Latinx Heritage Month, right? Latinx. Hey, I'm Ruben, but you might know me as Queer Chicano Chisme, and I'm here to talk about the word Latinx, which was just added to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. It clearly states Latinx is a gender-neutral form of the words Latino and Latina. It's pronounced Latinx. Some folks say Latinx. I can't really make out the sonic difference in my head, but there's a difference there somewhere. Essentially, there's no wrong way to say it because, like, legitimately, Latinx is used to center the most marginalized folks within our community, trans folks, non-binary folks. What Latinx does is that it says, like, you exist. Previously, right, Latino, the ending O, centered men, because Latino still means a Latinx man. And, like, that's because words are gendered in Spanish. In order to, like, move away from that and, like, it makes space for other folks, we gotta use Latinx when referencing the greater community. And I'm very specific about that. Referencing the greater community, folks who are binary men and binary women, whether they be cis or trans, they are still Latino or Latina. So we don't say like Latinx man, we say Latino. That Latino already means Latinx man, so no need for all those extra words. And Latina already means Latinx woman, so no need for all those other words. I know there's some folks who are like, doesn't this degender me? It's like, no, it doesn't degender you, like you still are you. So don't worry about your cisness or whatever, like, you still got that, homie. Don't worry, that privilege is still there. So what this does, it allows folks who use Latinx as an identifier to combat folks who want to dismiss the X in their own identity as invalid, right? And they can just point to like a trusted and respected and, you know, highly coveted source, the freaking dictionary, and be like, actually, no, you're wrong. I exist. My identity is invalid. And it also kind of silences all those like naysaying like think pieces about like why we shouldn't, you know, put X and why the X is invalid, right? Which a lot of cisgender, heterosexual Latinos and Chicanos want to triumph in publications such as like the LA Times. And so it just kind of like throws away a lot of their argument. A lot of folks are like, why you want to put this like colonial position into like Latinidad and like the term Latino without like realizing that like Latino in of itself is like already like a colonial, like imperialistic imposition. We're just like trying to find ways to like reclaim a little bit of what we lost. And one of the things that we lost in, you know, imperialism, colonization is like other genders beyond the binary. None of this is to say that the word Latinx is perfect. Admittedly, it really isn't. There's still more room for it to be inclusive. There are already spaces that are ditching the X and using an E at the end. So Latines and Latines in English. And that's because the E is a lot more understandable in both English and Spanish, right? So it bridges the gap that Latinx doesn't, right? Because in Spanish, a lot of folks say Latinx. Some folks do say Latinx, but there's always a little confusion around that. Latine does away with that. What I'm saying is that like, it's okay if we're gonna eventually transition into E. Whatever ensures that we're centering the most marginalized people within the Latinx community. Our work of like being allies to folks who are more marginalized within our community doesn't just end at like, let's add an X on it. Like that's not the only thing that it takes for us to really make our spaces inclusive. We actually have to do the work of ensuring that we're doing what the X and Latinx asks us to do, and that is to center folks, right? Trans folks and non-binary folks in all of our spaces. Without that work, no cosmetic change of E or X is gonna matter. As we like continue our celebrations or whatever, like of Latinidad, this imperfect, mosh posh thing, the Latinx identity, for all its complexity and incongruencies, it is imperfect. But it's something that a lot of us find solace in and find community in, and that feels like home. So yeah, party on or whatever, and just let's not be complete assholes about inclusion. Please? I'd like to thank all my patrons, especially Danielle G, Chris N, and Danielle V. Without all my patron support, none of my online work would be possible. So if you'd like to support this channel and get longer videos and other dope rewards like scripts and live streams, you can support me at patreon.com/queerchicanochisme.